Now a story I cannot wait to share with you. Some of the unsung heroes of war are the soldiers with fur who fight for our country on four legs. Did you realize many of them are sent into war and never make it back home to the United States? They're just abandoned in war zones. Well, a Daphne man is spearheading an effort to help those war dogs get home tomorrow. And you are invited, and I cannot wait to introduce you to that man. Andy Earl is here with us this afternoon. Andy, thank you so much for your time. This is so interesting. When I got the message about the poker run, I had no idea that these war dogs, these heroes, were being taken over, essentially trained, taken to Afghanistan and other countries like that, fighting, and then just left there to fend for themselves?
Yes, ma'am. There's two types of dogs. There's a military war dog or working dog and a contract working dog. There are laws enacted in 2000 where they have to bring back the military working dogs, but the contract working dogs do not have that luxury. And they are trained by private companies and they're contracted to the government. And once their contracts run out, they either leave them or abandon them in foreign countries, or either they euthanize them to keep from spending the money to bring them back because they're no longer an asset to them.
So they train them, they spend the money to train them, they fight for our country, and then they're just abandoned.
Pretty much.
That sounds so sad. And like I said, I had no idea until I got this message. So what you're seeing now, the dog you're seeing now, who, as we say in my house, because our dogs are family to us, Max. This is your dog. Tell us about him.
We got him a little over 2 years ago. He was in Afghanistan for 7 years. He worked 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, the whole time he was there. I got him in November of 2019, I believe it was. And he has some medical issues now because they worked him so hard, so he will not be at the event because of his medical issues. But he was there in Forward Operating Base Apache in Afghanistan that whole time with 23 other dogs.
Now, we did want Max to come in. We wish he could be here, but we do understand. We don't want to put any pressure on him. We understand that dogs get excited. Now, how did you learn so much about him and what he went through in Afghanistan?
Well, after I got him, it's a long process to adopt one, and after we were selected and we were able to get him, then I started researching and doing some investigations and trying to find out a little bit about him, and I actually tracked down his trainer in Afghanistan that's no longer in the military, and he's the one that sent me a lot of the pictures. And then I tracked down his last handler, which the handler is in one of these pictures, and talked to him, and he told me some stories, but he wouldn't tell me a whole lot because a lot of it I believe is classified, so he only told me parts of things that he had done.
I bet he wanted Max to come home too. How did you find out about adopting and what's happening?
Well, most of the military working dogs are trained at Lackland Air Force Base, and they have a program where when they bring back the military working dogs, they adopt them out. Usually they'll try to adopt them back with one of their handlers. If they can't do that, then they will offer them to a police department or something of that nature if they have any working life in them. Then after that, they will look at letting a soldier, usually with PTSD, adopt them, and then after that, if they can't get them adopted, they'll let them go to somebody that has some experience in the public person that has some experience with them.
But again, the first step is getting them back, and that's where you come in. You can help. There is a poker chip run. It's happening tomorrow. Tell us about that.
Registration, it starts at top of the bay in Daphne on Highway 98. There's 3 stops. You don't have to have a motorcycle. I mean, you can come car, truck, Jeep, whatever. And they have the poker run, and they do the poker run and then come back, and then we'll have the festivities there. Have a lot of door prizes and silent auction things trying to get money up. It takes approximately $2,000 to bring one dog back.
Goodness. Well, I know there are a lot of people, so many of you watching, who love animals as much as we do. You have big hearts. So tomorrow you can go out to that poker run. You said you don't have to ride a motorcycle. Maybe you just want to go and find out more about the efforts, and maybe you want to find out about adopting. You can do that tomorrow. So top of the bay, what time?
9 a.m. It starts 9 a.m. to 10:30 is registration.
9 a.m. Thank you so much for shedding some light on this. I know a lot of people are very curious about it and want to help, and you can get more information on WKRG.com when you search War Dog Heroes. Give Max a hug for us. We